discussion, instead of paying through a property tax levy, you advocated using landlord fees as an alternative for paying, at least for the police protection. So my question to you is, from the eyes of the student who's already paying student fees that are paying for police protection, tuition that's paying in part for public safety here, that's also dealing with law enforcement as it comes into the university from whatever infractions happen outside or off campus. From the eyes of the student, would it be more economical for them to vote for this levy, which would be a property tax that everybody pays, or to pay a landlord fee that they then solely would pay and that would go to at least provide the $1.7 million of services in this levy that otherwise the whole city would be paying?
Well, that's a tough question, because this is a tough audience to make that pitch to. And you're right. So if this turns into a landlord fee, then landlords are they're going to realize that money based off of passing that on to their students. But this also raises an important point. Landlords currently are charging as much as the free market will bear. So the GT recently cited a landlord who said, "My campus filled up so quickly at $550 a head, I would have charged $600 in hindsight." So what they're doing is, because there's such a high demand right now, because this growth was not appropriately planned between OSU and the city to ensure that there was enough housing that students weren't paying exorbitant rates. Corvallis has never seen rental fees like what we're currently seeing. And that's because it wasn't well planned. So landlords are going to charge as much as they can, whether that includes a landlord fee that covers the cost of housing or not. They're still going to charge as much as the market's going to bear.
4 and 5, how do you convince residents in your ward that it's a good deal for them?
Well, I think it's very simple when you look at some of the, when we were doing this deliberation, some of the testimony from the chief of police, pointing out that when an incident occurs, the way we're currently staffed with the officers we have and the like, you end up needing, and the incident is whether it's a crowd incident, as we talked about before, or a traffic accident, or a burglary, you end up having multiple officers responding, which means you have fewer officers around town doing the kind of ongoing patrol that's important to maintain the overall safety. And so, while yes, the major part of the motivation came from the collaboration working groups talking about how to deal with the neighborhoods around the campus, this is also very critical for maintaining the quality of police services for the rest of the town. So the image to be portrayed is one of when there's a break-in or a crowd situation and the police are called in, you want to have this feeling that there are no Corvallis police patrols coming through your neighborhood anymore.
Didn't the university just recently agree to fund 3 positions to deal with these kind of issues? And I'm wondering why we still need the 3 extra policemen that go onto this ballot measure. If they're going to do this, it seems like you guys aren't really together yet on this. So I don't see why this has to be decided so quickly when there's all these other things in the planning stages right now being talked about. So can you address that anyway?
I also do have additional information specifically about some of the numbers around police calls and staffing, and I'll put those at the table when we conclude, and if you'd like to take that with you, please do so. In answer to the first part of your question, yes, Oregon State for this school year has invested about $300,000 in positions to provide additional support in the Office of Student Conduct.